and we'll get started. So, you
Dun, dun,
guys,
dun. It'll take
uh,
before we all go mad.
quick recap. You guys were on your way to Iota, a new system, and you were going to go to Lithios, which is the frozen ancient palaces, I believe. Actually, no, it was Amareth. You guys were going to the research lab that had like archaeological digs happening in a lush jungle environment. So, you guys had already jumped from the Breck system into Iota, and you are on your way to get to Amrath, which is near the center of the solar system. So, as you guys start making your way and chart your course through the void towards your next destination, a jolt of static crackles across your ship sensors, and a massive anomaly materializes on the port side, its signature unlike anything in known space. Pivoting the cockpit to face it, you catch sight of a colossal metallic cube adrift in the darkness. So, this is what you guys end up seeing off the port side.
It was a wrong way to not get high.
Uh, Pivoting the cockpit to face it, you catch the sight of a colossal metallic cube adrift in darkness. A cold alien monolith, roughly 30 kilometers across, and its surface riddled with unrecognizable geometry and pulsating with a faint, eerie green light. As you draw nearer, the ship's sensors go haywire. Screens flicker violently, and sirens shriek warnings of intense electromagnetic interference. Then, without warning, everything stops. The alarm cuts out. The lights flicker once, then die. The hum of the engines fade into nothingness, and your vessel goes adrift, a powerless tomb floating in the abyss. Panic creeps in as you scramble to restore power. Switches click uselessly, but the systems remain dead. Then a new sensation. The ship begins to move, slowly at first, then with increasing speed towards the cube. As it looms ever larger, its sheer scale dwarfs your ship, and you are drawn into its gravitational grip. The void itself seems to close in. A yawning aperture opens on the cube's surface, a cavernous hangar in its upper right quadrant. You are pulled inside, your ship settling to the floor with unnatural grace. Then the doors behind you seal shut. You are alone, in pitch dark with no power, no sound, no escape. And I cue the spooky music.
Yay!
Leonardo drops everything he has, goes into his room and runs behind, below his blankets. He takes
Cesare
care of
joins
himself.
you.
Exactly. I'll wake
You,
up and it will be gone.
you said
Diana is
yeah,
excited about this.
you said ship comms and all the things in the ship are down. What about
Communication's
personal
all dead.
items?
Personal
Yeah,
items,
like-
no. Those are still usable.
Okay, gotcha.
It's just the ship itself. It's basically been drawn into this metallical cube, seemingly on its own. All communication, all engines have been cut.
All right, who else got to see this cube that we went inside of? Was that everybody,
Oh,
or was
everybody
everybody
would've
off
seen
doing their
this.
own shtick? Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, that's the wrong game. That's my 3.5 game.
Silas is going to go into whatever constitutes our mess hall, grab a pot and like a big metal spoon, and just yell out "Team meeting, team meeting!" Start like banging it in order to get everybody to get together.
You guys stumble out of the darkness of the hallway, and you use your power torchlights to find your way to the mess hall. We'll call it.
I probably have
night
night lights on my
I know this
visors.
cube! I'm gonna shut up
It's
though.
not a moon, that's for certain.
The moon's around. Of course,
No,
it's not
like,
moon.
I recognize this type of cube.
It's a Borg cube, isn't it?
I think so.
Its sides are equal, so it's a normal cube.
Perfectly
No, it's a
normal.
Borg cube.
Alright, assuming that everybody gathers.
Yes. We'll say that everyone managed to stumble their way into the mess hall.
Yeah, even Leonardo, but he's like wrapped in blankets.
Are you afraid of... Are you afraid of the dark there, hon?
Not, I'm not never afraid of dark, but
And
I'm afraid of eldritch horrors that have technology beyond our means of recognition. Which
that's
seems
the best
like
part about the situation. The fires of the knowledge that they hold will grant us what we need to get so much things and necessities. The
that would be true if
darkness is
they do
always
not
with us.
lobotomize us. And I love my head looking like this. Beautiful.
It's all right. I understand that you don't understand yet.
Because it can't be measured with our current technology, of course.
And that's the best part. Sometimes there's things that just ain't meant to be understood.
I hate that notion.
It's okay. That's what makes it exciting. If we already knew what it was, then what's the point in trying to figure it out?
Okay, philosophy aside, the thing is, we need to get out of here, and I don't plan on dying within a cube.
I agree with the captain.
So, I'm thinking we get ourselves, I don't know, whatever gear we need, and head out, find out what pulled us into this thing, and get ourselves unlatched so we can fly out.
Questions, Max. Could I, like, take a guess how large is this cube? Like, compared to our ship?
Well, you got a general scan before everything went dark. It said it had a diameter of about 30 kilometers.
Captain, I'm not the smartest, engineer in space, but if we were to search this place thoroughly, it will take us way too many times, especially if our ship is, not capable of flying properly.
Well, then we don't need to do a full thorough scan through it. Can't you just get onto... This thing's giant and made of metal. It's probably got a sensor array or, internal blueprints you could find. Find out where exactly this thing is, holding us. Blow it to high hell. Get out.
Can't
I
just
can try,
blow
but I don't
things
think the
up.
cube is,
It's
really...
a very simple solution.
Just because
I
it's
don't
the
want to be
easy
here,
solution.
personally.
Y'all
Listen,
ain't
Okay.
never
there's
wanna
an
be
ice
anywhere.
planet with our name on it right now, and that's where we're supposed to be.
It's a jungle planet.
I thought we were going to the ice planet.
We were going to the ass planet.
Then I should not be drunk when I'm listening to the plans. Alright. But still, it's...
I
this
would
will be
hope I
very
know what
dangerous.
planet we're going to. I'm the one flying the ship.
That's the other point why I don't pay attention to that.
I forgot I have an artifact on my person.
Right, so
Use it as a bargaining chip.
we want to risk going in there and whatever is piloting this thing, I guess, and, try to find our way out. Well, Captain, we can try, but we'll probably die, so... But if we
Well,
stay
it's
here, we'll
either-
definitely die.
It's either we go in there, or we wait for whatever is in here to come get us.
Diana
we
is
start the
already just heading into her cabin and grabbing all her things.
Yeah, I have no better option. I would hide
Do
it
it.
here while you go out there, and hope that it thinks it killed all of you and, somehow make me alive, but I'm not that lucky, so yeah, I'll follow.
Well, I do think
She's-
somebody needs to stay behind, unfortunately, and I think Spike, being the weapons expert, should hold down the ship. I look over at Spike, who is certainly there. DM, since Spike isn't here, that's your cue.
He'll go with whatever you guys want to do.
Alright, in order to
He
keep it
nods.
simple, you stay put here, and then we'll call you if we need help.
London Bridge is falling down. You think that
Falling?
means yes?
New London Bridge is falling down.
Yes, New London Bridge.
Corvex, do you have any opinions on this? I look over at Keith's character.
Nope, I just say we creep in quickly, fairly, and get us off to a new planet.
All right.
Question.
For whom?
Just in general.
Right.
If I have a normal load, is that okay?
Yeah. Like I said, you guys would equip yourselves right at the beginning of the session. You tell me what load you're going with, and you would mark off what you're carrying with you right now. If you so choose, you can just tell me you have a regular load, and then add the equipment as we go. You don't have to choose right away if you don't want to. You can just say you had it on you at the time.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm going heavy.
I am going to go with a normal load. But you.
What do I go with? I'll go with normal. And do I bring
Now-
my duck with me? Probably not. Well, actually, duck is a great repellent against Eldritch Horrors, so I'll probably have a space dedicated for Cesare.
Okay.
Do we have any idea if this place has atmosphere?
No.
Cool. You got a mini space suit for Chester.
I have placed in my spacesuit.
Whatever works.
Excuse me.
Good, yeah.
Well, actually, I probably
So-
have spacesuit especially for Cesare, so yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
I figured.
Now, this is Diana's like normal kind of day-to-day wear, if that makes sense. But you give me a second. I gotta find it.
Oh, okay.
But she has gone with something a little bit more, best to say, old-fashioned.
Okay.
For context, it's the outdated religious outfit.
Got it. Dressed up just in case you meet alien species that you worship. Gotta look your best.
Yep. Of course.
So, I will say you guys.
Actually, specs, I'll go heavy. Sorry, I need to go heavy.
Okay. So yeah, you guys will pick your loadouts, and then I will say that when you guys don your spacesuits and open up into this cavernous hangar, it starts off as pitch black, but as soon as you step onto the platform, the lights flash on almost immediately. It's a very bright fluorescent white light, and as your eyes adjust, you see inside of this hangar about over maybe a dozen to 24 other ships, all of various types. You see like starfighters, you see convoy ships, you see personnel carriers, you see pretty much any ship you could imagine. There's a type of that ship in here. Every ship looks to be locked in place by some sort of mechanical arm that's preventing them from lifting off. You look at your ship, and it's got a similar mechanism attached to it as well. These ships are from a variety of different decades, too. Some of these ships that you only heard about as children, you may have like ridden in one of these ships from one planet to another as a child. Other ships are as new as 5 years into a model. So you could find a fighter that's like a 5-year-old model, and then you would see its 10-year-old predecessor sitting practically right next to it.
By chance, Max, do we see any of the ships that look way too modern, like futuristic tech?
No, no futuristic. Like
Okay.
these all exist. Those of you who have military experience would recognize quite a few of these as fighter ships. Others would be just like personnel carriers that you general public would know about. Um, all of these ships, or at least most of these ships, have been damaged in some way. You see, like one fighter is missing a wing, another ship is missing a thruster or two. Several of these fighter ships have been very badly damaged. The only thing that was still intact were the cockpits where the pilots would have been. Every cockpit is open, but no bodies are inside.
Captain,
Yeah.
in case we somehow survive this,
Yeah. I know what
I
you're
think
thinking.
we salvage these. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Of
Like that one?
course we're going to
He
survive
points at like
this.
one of the fighters. I used to
Mhm.
fly one of those. Those are great. We could use so many parts from that.
I know. I know. I've seen catalogs. Those things are great.
Oh, it was ooh. Stopped on a dime. They were great.
Took
He,
off the-
he will
Uh-huh.
rant for a bit if you let him, like of the
Yeah,
his
Leonardo will
piloting
also
days
add
of it.
some details.
Wow, look at all the
Diana-
wonderful shit we could salvage, guys. We're gonna make so much money if we get it.
Anyway, okay, sorry. I got distracted. Alright, we gotta get the
Diana
prisoner in.
was about to like, she was slowly holding up her stick to like, kind of like whack you back to your senses.
Bonk back to reason.
Man, Silas was remembering the good old days and you had to bring him back to frickin' the terrible present.
her
This ain't that bad.
her staff
Don't
is
make it a
nicknamed
work-
Back to Reality.
Well,
Off
suppose
there
we
goes
don't lose
gravity.
I was hoping someone would get that reference.
Y'all acting like it's going to be a death sentence.
I mean, considering there's all those ships, not a single body around, possibly.
Negative Nancy's. Alia.
Pessimism has gotten me out of many a situation. But Silas is
just
gonna keep
realistic.
moving along in the hangar. Does it look like there's like a door to get out of the hangar or anything? Oh, actually, wait. The claw itself, does it look like there's a control panel on it, or is it just like automatic latched on?
Automatically latched on to every foot of your vehicle. So it's got like it's got the 4 feet that it uses to land. There are mechanical arms attached to each of those feet.
Okay, Smex, I assume we have sensors for these stuff, so is there atmosphere around, or like it's vacuum, and also is it what's the gravity there?
Gravity is normal, and the entire hangar is full of oxygen. It is breathable.
Huh. Okay, that's nice, but I won't pull off the spacesuit.
Okay.
Give me a
Yeah,
moment.
I've got my fine spacesuit as well. Okay, just curious on what's holding onto our thing. If anything, worst comes to worst, we could probably cut it off. Maybe. I don't know. That's the job for the engineer.
Yeah. And to answer your previous question, there is a single
That's-
double door that is open, leading into a hallway. Also, you see the fluorescent light beaming out of that as well.
Well, looks like we've got no other way to go than that way. Unless anybody else has any better ideas.
Nah, I think we go there.
Okay. So you guys head towards the double door, and peering into past those double doors, you see a rather unremarkable long hallway with
Ooh, I love
doors
those.
down each side of the hallway and a single door at the end. And all the fluorescent lights lead down to that one single door and the several doors on either side.
You know,
So-
Captain, I saw on the space internet that these rooms are called back rooms.
I knew getting
Um,
internet for the ship was a bad idea.
Oh yeah, and staying on that ship's going to be an even better idea.
No, I said
Okay,
getting
folks.
internet for the ship.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, I gotta
so
spend my free time somehow.
Diana holds up a finger, lowers the finger, and moves forward, not touching that. But she will brain has to load again. Can I don't know, attune to the surroundings or something? Kind of get
You could roll and see if you can attune to anything in this area if you want.
sure.
And can I see if I can pragmatically attune with some, socket that I can connect to, like any electronics or something?
There's no electronics in this hallway. It's
What
as you
type
see.
of
Right.
There's just doors.
should I do
And lights.
controlled or risky?
This will be controlled.
Bonus dice.
So bonus dice would be either you take a gambit, which you guys have 3 of per session. You could get assistance from one of the other players. Somehow they could assist you in attuning, maybe.
Silas, do you have a religion?
I'm religious, but I don't have really anything in my insight area.
Yeah.
Best I got is rig, consort, and sway.
Mhm.
Otherwise, I am a pilot.
It looks like you're kind of on your own on this one.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have a tune either.
2.
Mm.
This is too alien for you to even comprehend. Like, based off of your own religious education, this is nothing you are familiar with. And when you try to attune with the area, all you get is just dead air. You can't hear anything. You can't feel anything. It's like just a void.
Exciting. Yay.
I'm just gonna check one of these side doors.
Okay. So you grab onto the handle?
What a suspicious question to be asking.
Remember, we had an entire 15-minute discussion on doors, our second session.
Yeah, this is true. Can I don't know what, check it for traps? What's the check for trap skill? Is that study?
Yeah, that would be study. Study is like investigation.
I'm good at those, I can help you.
Roll, right?
It'd be controlled, yeah.
Alright, I said desperate, but we'll make do. Okay, so that's a 4.
Okay. So yeah, you put your hand on the door, you kind of check underneath it. There's no light that's coming from underneath the door. And you look at the handle, and it's just a normal door handle. So, nothing that you could really see that would indicate that it's trapped.
And this doesn't seem like a normal door that should be on a ship because it doesn't seal.
Exactly, yeah. These are just we'll call them antique doors.
Oh, Spanish moth dress! Sorry.
There's a it's something that you would see on old Earth, essentially. Like, you would consider this to be sort of like maybe a I don't know, storage closet, if you would call it that, really. This is the typical door you would see. Is like you open up, there'd be brooms and cleaning supplies behind it. Very unusual to see something so antique in a very modern metallic alien cube.
Right, I'll try the handle then, why not?
Okay. When you try the handle, you turn it, and you immediately end up on the other side of the door, and it slams behind you.
Cool.
You are
What's
in pitch black.
I have a very fancy suit. I'm pretty sure I have flashlights.
You do. You can turn on the flashlight, and when you do so, you are in just a dark area. There's no discernible corners to this room. It looks like you're just floating in darkness, but you take steps and you can feel ground firmly underneath you.
It's like walking in a black glass room.
When you make your way around this room, trying to feel your way around it, you feel your way around a corner. And when you get around the corner, you find yourself in a barracks. The barracks is familiar to you. This is something that you remember from your past. You see there is several dozen chairs lined up. There's a couple of people sitting in these chairs, listening to someone standing up in the front in a uniform. And he is pointing to a map of a city. You instinctively look around on your surroundings and realize that this is the Air Force base that you were stationed at prior to a preemptive strike on a city of rebels that you were fighting for the army for. You look down at your hands and you are no longer wearing your suit. You are in uniform as well right now.
I was gonna pinch myself. Like, all right, did I just get knocked unconscious here? What happened?
You feel the pinch. It hurts. Your friend and co-pilot, Phoenix, stands up at you and beckons you to sit next to him. You know Phoenix is dead. He died in this preemptive strike.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. So, do you sit down?
I'm gonna try. I don't know. What would a? I don't know. Does any of this seem like? Have I ever heard, like, in bars and whatnot, of like ghost stories, etc., of like some sort of situation similar to this happening?
You could roll for that. Let me just check what kind of roll you would do. I would do history if there is a history roll. Hold on.
There's no history. There's study. That is all we can do.
Yeah, let's do study. This is going to be a desperate roll, though.
Ooh. Excellent. Anybody mind if I use a gambit to make it a risky?
You can use it.
Okay. Yep. So 1 gambit out of 3. So you got 2 left after that. Yeah.
Alright, that's gonna be a 4.
I would say that when you were a young child, you heard kind of like the typical ghost stories that parents would tell children to, you know, keep them from misbehaving. Nothing really to this extent outside of like maybe one story where pilots went crazy on the edge of space, started to hallucinate, thought they were in one place or another, and they ended up purposefully or accidentally venting the atmosphere out of their ship because they thought they were walking through their house. But that's really the extent of what you would have heard. Just people that went crazy at the edge of space, were alone, and then started hallucinating, and then thought they were one place, but they weren't. They were still on their ship, and ended up either accidentally killing themselves or the others on the ship.
Is this because I joked about flying us into the sun, Smex?
No, not at all.
Just wanna make sure.
No.
Is that guy still gesturing? Does it seem like people are looking like, hey, come sit down, Silas?
Yeah, like, he says, like, bro, are you okay? Like, he walks up to you and he puts his hand on your shoulder. You feel his hand on your shoulder. And he's like, dude, it's like you've seen a ghost. Come on, man. Let's sit. We gotta listen to this briefing.
I'm not supposed to be here right now.
Yeah, neither are we, but, you know, conscription's a bitch. And he kind of chuckles at that.
Gonna look around some more. Does it seem like this is just an enclosed area? Do I see like a door anywhere?
No, like, where you walk through, you turn around, you look outside of the barracks, and it's like, there's the airfield, there are the fighter ships, there's your gunship that you flew in this mission. Like, everyone's just walking around doing their business, prepping.
Silas is currently debating, like, okay, if I have gone crazy, and if I do open a door, it might vent the area, but I should be in a spacesuit, so I should be okay. He'll sit down for now just to think on things. If you want to jump to another character while
Sure.
Silas is currently undergoing, past traumatic events.
Yeah, sounds like a plan. All right, so to everybody else, you saw Silas open the door and immediately get sucked into the opening. In a split second, the door closes. It's too late for you guys to try and help him from getting sucked in. So the door just slams shut.
Leonardo eeks and jumps backwards. Vaffanculo, qualche cosa. Diana, what was this? You are the spirit person.
She's at a loss. Pretty much.
Yes, now Leonardo is really freaked out. Like, okay, so Specs, are the doors that we got through in here closed still?
Yes, all of them are closed.
I want to go and try my best to open them up.
Okay, so you're gonna try the same door that Silas went through?
No, the doors that we came through.
Oh, there's only one door. So there was the double. There's this double opening that you guys.
Yeah, double opening. Those
yeah.
doors I want
So
to try.
yeah, you go back to that. The doors are still open, leading into the hangar with all the other ships. But this is the only entrance or exit into the cube. Is the double doors that are still open. It's like a corridor, pretty much. And in the corridor is this hallway. So literally it's just the hangar and this corridor with all these doors.
Okay, I'm gonna... Could I go back to spaceship and take some, I don't know, crowbar or something?
Well, you do have like your loadout. Does your loadout allow you to carry anything that's like a crowbar? Because that's what.
Sorry,
No, I don't have any in mind. I want something that's like a stick,
I was
something long
I was
enough.
eating
Oh, okay.
food.
So yeah, I'll give you a chance, Diana, to do something. So you saw Silas open the door, get sucked in, and the door slam behind him.
And Leonardo asked Diana a question, and Diana was going to say, well, mainly I was going to ask if there's a way that, ow, fuck, to, basically do visions.
So that would probably most likely be another attune, but let's see if there's another option for you. Yeah, the closest thing to that would honestly be attune. That's your best role that you have. Consort would be like speaking to somebody else. Yeah, but you haven't been able to communicate to any otherworldly being that may be on the ship, so you could roll another sway to see if you do anything. Oh, okay. So you feel that you get this feeling that you're supposed to go through these doors. Something is kind of like beckoning you or drawing you to these doors to open them.
We have to open the doors.
Sweetheart, I know you're, sometimes optimistic when it comes to those horrible eldritch things, but it just sucked our captain in, and I don't think he's getting out. And I really don't want to follow, Why should we?
Go. If we're going to figure out the purpose of this place and to get out of here, we're going to have to go into these environments.
Can I trust you, truly? 100%. That you are on your own, that your sanity is right, and that you know what you are saying. I want to make sure.
Everything's here. Everything's up there, and everything's pretty stable. She will, like, spin her staff as, like, confirmation of she's okay.
Alright. Any specific doors or I can choose?
Dealer's choice.
I'll take doors number 7.
Okay. So, Leo, you are the next one to open a door?
I'll knock on the doors, wait if somebody calls, come in, and if not, I'm gonna open the doors.
Yeah, you knock on the door, but you hear no answer back.
Here it goes.
So, yep, you put your hand on the handle, you open the door, same exact thing happens, you get sucked in, door slams out behind you. You are still wearing your spacesuit, you're in utter pitch blackness, but...
Okay, I want to check first if Cesare is with me.
No, Cesare's gone.
Ah, fuck.
You
Okay,
look,
he
you
goes
look
forward.
down, you're not wearing your suit anymore. And you are dressed, not in the same clothes that you started with. You're dressed in very shabby beggar clothes. And you smell like stale alcohol and vomit. You turn around and immediately find yourself in the middle of a alleyway. It is raining. You are drenched. And you are covered in sort of like these makeshift beggar clothes with a hood up to keep you from catching cold. You're wrapped in a plastic bag, and you make your way out of the alley and find yourself in front of across from a park.
He starts laughing really loud. Oh, I was just getting drunk and smashed. This is great. So yeah, he's laughing a bit and realizes nobody's looking for him. He's gonna proceed to the park.
Okay. So when you proceed to the park, this is also familiar with you. This is the place where you found Cesare. And as you're walking through the park, a lot of people give you wide berth. They ignore you. You try to beg for change because you're so hungry right now, but very few people are stopping to give you any food.
Maybe.
Yeah. All you really have left is some crust from a sandwich that you had previously that you were saving for later. When you're walking through the park, you look down to where the river meets the side of the road, and you hear and see some splashing. You slide down into sort of like a ravine past the concrete barrier, and you find in the weeds a small lone duckling that is trapped by a spool of wire and garbage. As it continues to try and tug its way away from the water, or into the water to try and swim away, the tighter the wire gets and it starts cutting into its leg. You very carefully unfurl the wire spool, get the garbage off of the duckling, and then proceed to put it under your coat, just kind of give it a little bit of shelter, and you feed it what little crust you have left of that sandwich, and it eats it greedily.
You're not supposed to feed ducks bread.
You hear that in your
Sorry.
mind. It's like, ducks can't eat bread.
If Desiree wants bread, she's gonna get bread, damn it.
But it's
Yeah,
unhealthy, and they give angel wing that way.
Yeah, I'd assume
I
Leonardo
don't
is
know
just
space
panicking and not really thinking about what's going on. So yeah, he's trying his best to like save the duckling.
You're basically going through the steps that you did when you found Cesare. You're just like, it's almost automatic
Exactly.
with your reactions that you're doing. You are sort of in control of your body, but you're kind of just going through the motions.
he probably feels like this is something he already did, but it doesn't matter. He has stuff to do.
You are
Yeah,
compelled to do this. It's something that you just can't
exactly.
avoid. Yeah, so you're running through the same things that you did in your past. And this is the time where you found Cesare when you were homeless and you didn't have any money and you were trying to find a way to, get back on your feet. All of these memories start flooding back to you, and you remember that this is also the day where you met Silas for the first time, and he took pity on you, and you told him that you were a good mechanic. And
Okay, that's a bit too far fetched, but okay.
yeah, I was gonna say it's like you said it's like you had mechanical expertise. Obviously he was a little apprehensive of that, but eventually you managed to convince him otherwise, and you joined his crew. This is the day that happened.
It will probably dawn on him a bit, but he's still, too dumbfounded on what's going on to like really figure out what he should do in the moment. So yeah, he's probably gonna stay in that loop for a while. So yeah,
Okay.
you can go from the other players.
All right. Diana and Korvax. Korvax, you've been pretty quiet. What is your character thinking about all this?
And more or less, he's just kind of aloof and not paying too much attention. He's not overly concerned. If he's completely honest, he's waiting for Diana to choose a door so he can go back to the ships and start searching and see if there's anything of value he can put in his pocket.
Okay. No, that's fair. That's fair. Definitely the character. So what does Diana do?
Thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to try one of the doors?
Oh, I think just see what's left over.
What?
See what's left over, he said.
Left over from what?
Y'all choose.
You want me to choose?
Of course, ladies first.
No. That's sweet. You don't give me the traditional tap. How about that way so everybody can get the experience? We both open the door at the same time.
Absolutely. Which one are you thinking of grabbing?
She gestures to two parallel to each other.
Left or right?
I'll take the left.
Okay, so
Do the countdown?
yep. So you choose the left, Diana. He chooses the right. And let me just take a quick look here, real quick. All right, so you both ready yourselves to grab the handle. Dan, I want you to roll study.
Roll what?
Roll study.
Can I do controlled?
Yep. So study controlled. Okay. And then Korvax, you do your roll, please. Refer to that DM that I sent you.
Oh wow.
So, Diana, you watch him very closely as you go to reach for the handle, and you notice that he is really trying hard to avoid touching it before you do. And you stop yourself, realizing that he doesn't want to touch it before you. He's trying to be sneaky about it, but you can see past his facade easily.
She will take her staff and then kind of lean on it, looking over at him. Now, I'm just a girl from, well, fuck of nowhere. But a girl does know when she's trying to being played for a fool.
Okay, so as you're saying this, mid-sentence, he goes to grab the door in front of you. Do you try to stop him?
Grabs the door in front of me?
Yes.
No.
Okay, so Korvax, you easily grab the handle in front of her. You swing it open, and it sucks you inside. You get knocked back, Diana, onto the ground.
Got it.
Yeah. And Korvax, you find yourself running, or at least mid-stride. You're holding something cold and metallic in your hands. You look down as you're running, and you kind of stop a little bit to look down and see it's a metal case. It is a familiar metal case that you had stolen from a local mob boss, filled with credits. You glance behind you, and you see two very large men giving chase, and they draw their laser pistols and begin firing at you in the middle of this crowd that you are suddenly stopped in the middle of. You duck and run, making yourself into a alleyway, and you start climbing the fire escape up to the building above you, while the two goons give chase. You make yourself to the top of this building, and you are in complete panic mode. You don't know how you got here, you don't know what's going on, but this is something very familiar to you. You remember that you had just barely escaped stealing from the mob boss's safe, but you ended up setting off the alarm, and these two goons that are chasing you work for the mob boss, and they would very much like this case back. You are making yourself across the building rooftop while being chased by these goons, and they are firing wildly at you. Laser blasts are whizzing past your head as you're running from building to building. So you are actually unarmed. You've got this metal case full of money. What are you doing? Are you going to continue to run from rooftop to rooftop, try to lose these guys?
Do I have the presence of mind to think back to the fact that I just opened the door and disappeared?
You do.
Or is that
yes.
like...
You are aware that you just opened this door, you got sucked in, and all of a sudden you found yourself in the middle of a crowd of people in a raining street being chased by two mob guys shooting guns at you.
He'd be curious if any of this were real. What if he were to pause at a corner and maybe pull up the side of his jacket and try to bait them into shooting through it?
Shooting? Oh yeah, take off your jacket and have them shoot through the jacket?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you can. You're on a rooftop right now, but you can pause behind like one of the transformers of the roof, and these guys are in hot pursuit behind you. So you decide to take off your jacket just temporarily, and just kind of like flick it off to the right where it's in an open area, and you hear the blast of a laser go right through the jacket, scorching it, making a hole.
Seems real enough to me.
Yep. So I'll get back to you in a moment. Diana, you see Korvax grab onto the handle, but it sucks him inside, and you get knocked off your feet onto the ground, and the door slams behind you.
Huh. Well, at least he ain't no longer trying to play me a fool. She'll go over and open a door very casually.
Okay. And it does the exact same thing it did with everybody else. Sucks you in, slams behind you. And Diana, you find yourself in the living room of your parents' mansion. It is night. The fire is crackling in the fireplace, and both of your parents are standing before you. Your father holding a canter, pouring himself a very large drink of whiskey, and he plops a ice cube in it, sighs, and turns to you. Your mother is distraught, to say the least, and they both mention to you that they are very disappointed that you have decided to join a cult. Your father was really hoping that you would follow in his footsteps and become a lawyer for the local precinct. And your mother has been asking you if you could just pretend that the visions don't exist. Like, if you could just ignore the visions that you get, don't join this cult, they will brainwash you. She really, really wants you to stay home and really think about doing what your father says, because it's a far safer occupation, we'll say. Your father is a little bit more curt with you. He says that he demands that you give up this nonsensical pilgrimage that you wish to go on with this group of cult members, and he says that he wants you to become an assistant lawyer at his firm, and that's that. He refuses to listen to you any further in regards to this. You remember having this conversation with your parents at least 5 years ago, and it kind of floods back to you where you disagreed with your parents, you refused to listen to your father, and you decided to go on your pilgrimage regardless of his blessing. That was the original decision that you had made. What are you thinking about it now?
Still think I'm fucking right.
Fair. Yeah. As you continue to argue the point with your parents, your mother becomes more distraught, tears welling up in her eyes, your father being more stern, more stoic. But slowly the anger raises, and he says to you that if you walk out that door, we are disowning you. You will lose all privileges of your family, you will have no money, and you will have no backing from your parents were you to ever get in trouble. You do this, you will be breaking your mother's heart.
I was already broken the moment I came into this fucking world. All you've ever done is yell me and tell me that I'm fucking wrong. That I should just hide what I was gifted. That I was gifted. Tell me to stow it away. Hide like a coward like you are. Go into the law. Become a normal bucking citizen. I do not care anymore. I ain't going to deny what I am and who I am. Look yourself in the mirror and realize you just lost the one thing that your blood had done right. And she'll walk out that door.
Okay. So your father yells after you, is like, it is not a gift, it's a curse, and you have damned your family in this result. You are no longer my child. You are no longer my daughter. Walking out that door, you are disowned, young lady.
I ain't never was.
Okay. So now we'll go back to Silas. So you sit
How's the
down.
briefing?
Oh, sorry. What'd you say?
Oh, I said, cool. How's the briefing going so far?
Briefing is as it unfolded before. The captain points to a map of the city and says they are having a preemptive strike against the city's rebels. And you are designated Angel 1, and the other group is designated Angel 2. Your job is to provide close air support for the preemptive strike that they are beginning in 0800, which is in 2 hours. You will be waiting at your stations for the call to go in by any squads requiring that close air support. You are within about a hour's flight of the city, so they will ask you to spin up your rotors and be ready for launch ahead of time. You will be basically the spearhead that starts. You will be providing close air support, dropping missiles, taking out soft targets, as well as targeting any light vehicles that are still within the area. Intel has reported the civilians have been all evacuated from the area, and that you are weapons free. So with that, Phoenix and you get into your pilot suits, and again, it's like you've done this hundreds of times before, and you find yourself hard pressed to fight the urge to not do this again. But it's extremely difficult. Like, every time you try to just resist the urge from, like, putting on your suit, your helmet, getting in this helicopter, you get this huge migraine that's, like, almost nearly penetrating into your mind that says, no, you have to do this again. You are required to do this again. You did this before, you can do it again. Just over and over in your head.
Seem like I've done this like multiple times, like been stuck in a loop.
It does feel like that, yes.
Is there any role I can do to, like, I don't know, fucking just walk away?
I'll allow you to roll a tune, but it'll be a desperate roll.
Oh, good. Desperation. And mountains. I don't want to burn another gambit. That feels rude of me.
Fair.
So we'll just run regular desperate as a disadvantage, and we'll just hope that we can get good. I am so fucking go. Oh, let's go.
So, fighting through that impulse, you manage to regain...
He said, fuck you, Eldritch Horror.
You manage to regain some semblance of control over your body, and you throw your helmet to the ground in front of your friend Phoenix, and Phoenix just kind of goes a little wide-eyed. He's like, bro, what's wrong? What are you doing? We gotta go.
I've done this so many times.
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm out.
He says,
Hey.
it's like, yeah, you've done this many times, man. Like, we got this.
No. Like, this entire scenario, this situation over and over, you keep dying at the same spot in the same stupid fucking way every fucking goddamn time. And he just, like, goes off on him on that.
Okay.
I'm sick of this. I'm out. I don't know what the cube wants with me. I'm done. I pick a direction that there, like, seems to be a door. I walk in that direction.
Yeah, there are no real doors. There's just the hangar and the airfield. So you walk back into the hangar, and you find yourself in a completely different room. This has morphed into a just like a spherical room, and in the center, floating in some liquid in a tube, is a glowing green orb. Around, underneath the orb looks to be a console of some sort with wires hooked into the back of this tube. Around this console, the outer edges of the spherical room, sit several metallic armchairs with a half dome, about a head sized half dome above them. And the orb speaks, but not in a voice, in your head. And it says, "Welcome." And I'll leave it at that for a moment.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, so to Leonardo. So, Leonardo, you have Cesare in your coat. You can hear it chirping happily, eating that bread that you gave it. And you walk by a familiar restaurant and you glance in and you see several people in various like fancy suits and dresses sitting down eating caviar, drinking wine, and you find yourself wishing you had that life. You sit down out of the rain under the canopy of this restaurant, and people start to eventually trickle out of that restaurant. You panhandle, asking for any credits they can spare. Some give you 1 credit, some ignore you, others chastise you for being homeless. And a familiar sort of like feel of just upset is in the bottom of your stomach. Your stomach is in knots right now, wishing you had a better life. And in your head, an unfamiliar voice creeps up. And it says, "You can have the life that you wanted. I can give that to you. You do not have to suffer. You do not have to live in squalor. You can have all the women, all the luxuries, the mansion that you desire if you just follow me. Follow my voice." And it gets a little distant, but it feels like it's beckoning you around the corner to an alleyway. Do you follow this voice?
Okay, up until that point, he's thinking about how he should alleviate those things, and desire is really strong with him to follow. Judging by the things he saw, right, and that he wants, but at the same time, for a moment it looks like, wait, was this how it should be? Like he's trying. At this moment, he's like imagining the image of Silas. Like what transpired at that moment, and slowly he's like, did really? I think I've been here before. And he'll like stand up and just go to the entrance to that alleyway.
Okay. So at the entrance of the alleyway,
But not inside.
Okay, yeah. At the entrance of that alleyway, you see through what looks to be at the end of the alleyway a glowing orb suspended in a tube of liquid. And you see Silas is standing there just staring at it at the moment. You see the back of his head. You can recognize him from the back of his head. And he's just his back is to you.
Okay. How did he meet Silas?
So, from what you remember, you ended up panhandling as much as you could to find your way later on the spaceport, looking for work like you do day after day after day, trying to find someone who would hire you for your skills. When you make your way to the spaceport, you end up running into Silas as you're panhandling, and you tell Silas about your skills. Silas, a little apprehensive about hiring a homeless man, but still interested in seeing what you could provide him, invites you onto his spaceship and asks you to run a small task, just to kind of like test your skills. He asks you to fix a communication module. You did so with flying colors, and Silas takes you on as one of his crew. That's what happened originally.
Okay, he'll remember the face, but at the same moment he's like discerning. Okay, is this person who I should meet, and how do I know that? Well, probably because I'm not really here. So I need to find this person. I don't know why, but I think I need to. So he goes forward.
Okay. And you find yourself in the same room as Silas. Silas, you barely blink, and Leo's like standing right beside you.
Oh, Jesus.
The carpenter.
How do you get here? I'm real quick, Smexy. Am I in my fine customized spacesuit and all
Yep.
my gear?
You're back in your
originally?
spacesuits.
And me?
Yep.
Ah, thank God.
Okay, I'm checking for Cesare. He's still here.
Cesare is standing right underneath you. Fully grown.
Yeah, I'll pick him up.
Yep. He just like quacks in surprise. He's like, quack.
Oh, you're here.
All right. Now I'll move on to Korvax. So, you tested it. You have a hole in your jacket now. Exactly.
Is that the sound of the gunshots going?
The guy's using a silencer.
A ducklancer.
A ducklancer.
Terrifying.
Yeah. So yeah, Korvax, you end up putting your jacket back on quickly, and do you stay behind this transformer, or do you continue to try and leap from building to building, trying to lose these guys?
Do I have like a about how long ago it was? Are we talking 5, 10, 15 years?
This was actually 2 weeks ago, roughly.
Just before I ran into the group. Okay.
Exactly. This was the day you ended up sneaking onto their ship.
I will dust off the jacket and wait till both of them are kind of in line of sight. Launch the briefcase over to them and then kind of see if I can scale down the other side of the roof that I'm currently on.
Sure.
Korvax is not in the mood to go through this whole run and gun again.
Okay.
He barely made it last time. He's not feeling it.
No, that's fair. So yeah, you toss the briefcase, and when you do that, you find it return to your under your right arm again, where it was before. And you are fighting the urge to continue leaping from rooftop to rooftop, but it is very difficult. If you want, you can roll to a tune and see if you resist the urge from going through this again.
He definitely will take that role. He knows how this all played out, that he was stuck in a cargo hold with some cows, and he doesn't want to go through all that again.
No, that's fair.
You said a tune? Control the risky?
This will be risky.
This isn't going to go. There it is.
Oh, wow. So you got a 5 then. Or do you have a 2 to a tune?
I have 0.
You have 0. Okay, so yeah, we would take the 5. So yeah, you actually managed to resist it enough to basically throw the case again. And as you throw the case, you basically just like in your head is like, I'm done with this bullshit. I'm not going through this again. That's it. I'm not playing this game. And you throw the case. This time the case actually clatters to in front of these goons, and they just stop in place. They lower their guns and they stand and stare at you. You look at them, and then all of a sudden you find yourself within a blink of an eye in front of a glowing green orb in a tube of liquid, standing next to Silas and Leo. And Silas and Leo, again, same thing happens before. You guys blink, and then all of a sudden, Korvax is standing beside Leo. Cesare quacks in surprise. Wah, wah, wah.
Oh. You're here too.
Struggling to not reflexively just steal it, but oh, hello guys.
Why does everybody just keep on popping out of nowhere?
And then Diana. So, Diana, you remember exactly what happened. You left your family with what little you had on you. You packed a bag and took what you could, what savings you had, and chartered the next ship out of the planet. And that ship was the one that Leo and Silas were already on. So you get on the ship, and then as the doors close behind you, you are put into pitch darkness. And then out in front of you, in the distance, you see a glowing green orb suspended in liquid, and your three friends staring in front of it.
Can I walk?
Yeah, you can walk. So as you walk, it quickly approaches you, almost like a freight train, and stops a few feet in front of you.
The orb?
No, the where you take a step, and it feels like it accelerated straight towards you. That the console with the orb in it, and you stop a few feet in front of it. The three of you see Diana stumble out of the darkness from behind and nearly fall forward on top of the console.
Yeah.
Okay,
Hi.
we're all here.
She props herself up on it and gives them finger guns.
Totally meant to do that.
Uh-huh. Smooth sailing.
Might want
So-
to back away from that.
As before, as mentioned, you get your bearings and you see the spherical room with this weird orb suspended in the clear tube of liquid. Around you, you look at the armchairs, the metallic armchairs with the head-sized half domes above them. And as you get your bearings, the voice returns in your heads. Or at least those that heard it before is familiar to them a little bit. It sounds mechanical and monotone in nature. And it says, not speaking out loud, but inside each of your heads. With every word it says, the green orb pulsates with an eerie glow. And it restates the promises to each of you that it was going to give. So Korvax, it tells you that it promises that you will no longer have a price on your head. You will no longer have to worry about looking over your shoulder any longer. You don't have to stay on the run anymore, and you can live a life of luxury. For Leo, it reiterates the lifestyle that it promises you, complete with beautiful women at your beck and call, a mansion with servants, and more credits than you could ever spend. Diana, it tells you that it can mend the relationship you had with your family. It can have them appreciate your gifts and have them love you for exactly who you are. And you will never have to worry about being disowned from your family again. And you can have a relationship with your parents as you have desired, at least deep, deep beneath your heart. Silas.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's why I said that. Silas.
Laughs and queer.
Yeah. Silas, it tells you that it can reunite you with your friend Phoenix and your fellow mates.
I reach over to Leo's back and grab the thing of C4 that was on there from before. Alright, we're blowing this thing.
Leonardo hands it over and pulls out the detonator.
Thanks.
No, Don.
What, you guys wanted to make a deal with the weird Eldritch Abomination in the center that tried to... I don't know about you guys, but I saw my past, so I'm not really a fan of it.
Hold on. I just got a visit from a dog.
Oh, okay.
Shit, they got dogs here. I can't blow up this place if it has dogs.
Oh, damn! I should have started with that.
The dog is
Next
the
time.
illusion.
Next time.
Alice, bomb it.
I love you, Rylus.
Oh, I can't kill it. He's so cute.
It's that sheep all over again.
I don't have the strength.
A roof?
A roof? A roof? No, there's no dog. All right, so
Silas is just not hearing anything of what this weird orb says. It tried showing him his past. He's not down with this. He wants to get to the ship and leave.
no,
He's
that's
got
right.
shit to do and a bomb in his hand. Let's go.
Okay, so you hook up the bomb and under the console, where at least you can stick it, and then Leo, you got the
Just have a
detonator.
detonator, so it's a big red button. So, but I advise people to move away because
Oh yeah,
it's
back
a
up,
wide
back up.
radius.
Okay. So the room that you guys find yourself in, there is a singular doorway that leads somewhere. Not sure where. It is open, and the orb basically pleads for you, obviously, not to do this. It wants to give you the best lives that you deserve. All it asks for is knowledge. That's all it wants. Knowledge of
Knowledge
your
about what?
past, so it can fix it for you.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. You said it's the big red one, yeah?
Mhm. I'm pressing the button.
While you guys are inside the room?
No. We leave. We get a
Oh,
good
okay.
distance away. I know that Leonardo has a very interesting method of bomb crafting. I don't want to be anywhere near it.
Yes.
Okay. Diana, do you say anything, or do you basically agree with the two of them just to blow it up?
She's paying the dog tax.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Corvax, do you have any issue with blow up the eldritch thing that wants our brains?
It didn't say brains, it
I mean,
said
it's like-
knowledge.
Yeah,
You're
what's in
It's
the
a good
brain?
deal.
Okay, Smax, we
Oh,
need
yeah,
the
let's
elevator
go
music
get
before.
ourselves stuck in a virtual reality that we, get to live through that nonsense.
Come on, live in the pod, eat the bugs.
Sorry, I'm back.
Hey, welcome back. We're blowing up a weird green orb. You got any issues?
Yeah, I was going to see if I can like attune to the environment, figure out if I can dissect more from the situation.
Yeah, you can do
Yeah,
that.
yeah, you'll be doing that while I'm fusing the bomb there.
Yeah, the
So
bomb's
before we
currently-
blow you up and kill you, what are you exactly?
No, I'm not pressing the button yet. I'm just connecting it.
Yeah.
Making sure that everything is functional.
Mhm.
This being a risky situation.
Yes.
Got it.
You can't even begin to penetrate past whatever psychic barriers this thing has, whatever it is.
Yep. Damn.
You just hit a literal steel vault in your mind, and you are banging away at this thing, and it's just not getting through. It whispers in your head, it's like, if you wish to learn of me, you must join with me. I can make your parents whole again. I can make them love you again. Sit in the chair. Join me. And you could become more powerful than you could imagine. Your powers are worth more than you could ever know.
Out of character, it said the make us whole thing essentially. No, we're not dealing with that shit. But you
One
do
thing
you.
I like the cracks that I got. Earned myself.
The green glow of this orb slowly turns to like an orangey hue. And this time it speaks, but it speaks as though all of the people that you met in the simulation all talk at once. Your mother, your father, your friend Phoenix, not Cesare, because that would be weird.
Too bad.
And they all just reiterate, it's like, join us, become one, become strong. And it repeats, join us, become one, become strong. And it repeats over, getting louder and louder in your head.
Now, Leonardo is singing loud.
Sorry, is Leonardo playing that in his head in order to overcome the joy?
Yeah. Yeah, now he's singing.
Alright, is Diana doing anything?
Tequila!
Give me a second. I gotta find the song.
So, Korvax, do you think you're convinced yet?
He's gonna sit in the chair.
Oh,
Korvax,
okay.
ooh.
What?
So,
Can
Korvax,
I roll a scrap to grab him?
yeah, this will be a contesting. So, both of you will roll scrap.
I was about to ask, is there a way I can, like, attune to, like, convince, like, it's like, you do not want to go to the chair.
It would be sway, not attune. But yeah.
Damn. Well, I'll try that.
Okay. So we'll call that an assist then, Diana. Because Silas is going to scrap, and you assist him. So Silas, you'll get an additional die with the assist from Diana. And Korvax, you will do a scrap as well, and we'll see who gets higher.
Risky or controlled?
It'll be controlled.
I should know better. Rolling anything against Keith, it's usually, oh shit.
You saved me this time.
Yeah, so
I guess so.
you
The dice do not favor you this day, bud.
you managed to grab his arm and do like a quick pin to the ground. And yeah, so you have him grappled
Grab
right
and
now.
drag.
Yeah.
All right, we're getting out of here before the orb decides to, I don't know, do whatever else it is. Get that bomb and let's get going.
Okay.
I assume Leonardo is done with his connecting stuff.
Yes, you would have.
Yeah, I
Been
am
finished with
getting people and rushing them out. If Korvax is fighting against me to go back to the chair, I am going to just continue to drag him. If Diana is going to go and, poke the thing with her stick, I don't know, I'll grab her as well if possible.
No,
But
she,
if Leonardo
she
is doing it, he can
understands.
go.
This might be of something of the dark. That does not mean it is the dark.
Gotcha.
It glows too much.
Close too much.
That's a rational reason.
I am getting people out of this room so that we can
Okay.
safely take the bomb and not take,
Leo is like, yeah, that's my girl. Using that common sense. Meanwhile, she's just like,
Yeah.
it glows too much. But I ain't gonna trust that.
All right, so you guys make your way out of the room. Korvax a little apprehensive, and
Okay, Smex. The moment they exit the room, Leonardo turns around, yells, "Ta-ra-ta-ra-ta-ra-ta, tequila," and he presses the button.
and with that, there is a large explosion in the room. You guys manage to take cover as debris and metal and just like fiery like debris just like shoot out of the room. And looking at your handiwork just briefly, you see that the tube is still intact. The green orb has turned red inside the floating liquid. And it repeats. Become one, become strong. One, become strong. And you hear that in your head, and then it starts coming from down the hall around the corner. And you hear this thumping sound getting louder and louder. And this time, instead of inside your head, you hear dozens of voices speaking in unison. Become one. Become strong. And around the corner is a monstrosity of undecipherable amalgamation of hands and eyes and multiple feet fused together at its stumps. And it makes its way towards you and begins to sprint.
Still want to become one, Corvus?
Let's go.
Let's
I
go.
don't think
Yes, sir.
Why are you screaming and running as fast as you can?
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot and run.
Okay.
I just run.
All right. So everyone begins to run in the opposite direction. Going down this white hallway, you round corners, you continue to run around these corners, and it feels like just a maze of just more corridors and more doors. And meanwhile, this thing is sprinting, slowly closing the distance between you and your escape.
My shots doing anything on it?
They are glancing off of its flesh. You're taking off arms, limbs, some feet. It's still closing that distance.
Well, as long as it's not growing
So-
it back.
I do still have a bunch of drugs. I mean, it's biological. We could get it high.
Leonardo would usually agree with you, but in this situation, no.
I don't know if it has lungs.
So,
Intravenous.
2 thoughts. One is a push myself. The other is a devil's bargain.
Mm-hmm.
We still have gambits we can burn.
Yeah,
instead of the
you've
devil
got 2
bargain.
gambits left as well.
That's fair. Can I do a gambit to maybe attune to this entity to like stop it, and then we can, or attune to our ship?
Okay. This will be a controlled.
Mm-hmm. And that gambit makes it a controlled?
So it starts out as a controlled. A gambit gives you an extra die on top of your attune that you already have. So whatever your
Okay.
attune is, you add an extra die to that.
Got it.
Nice. So you manage to get inside the head of this abomination, and you hear dozens of voices just screaming, "Help, let us out. Where am I? It hurts. It hurts." And
Another shot rings out, cuts off an arm. It really hurts.
that was my good arm. No. And you manage to try and quiet the voices enough to attune with the entity that is controlling this abomination, and through like a huge migraine, you manage to gain control of this abomination, at least to the point where it stops dead in its tracks, but you still hear the voices in your head screaming in pain and for help and to be let out, and where am I? It's dark, it's cold, I'm scared. You hear children's voices on top of that as well, doing the same thing.
Oh. That's nice.
Yeah. It's not just adults, it's children, it's women. They're all screaming for help to be let go.
Hold on.
But yeah, like as you guys continue to run, you do notice that Diana managed to do something, and this thing just kind of stops dead in its tracks. And the hands, what hands are left, are all grasping its cranium, just retching in horror and just yelling and screaming in pain.
Who? What? Me?
Oh no, the monster,
beast.
the beast, yeah. All of you can hear this, not in your heads, but like in real person, that you just hear multiple voices screaming to be let go, that it hurts, it wants to be free.
All I can do is really shoot it more.
True.
It's a really stupid thing.
Yeah.
But you didn't finish a single episode of the podcast? I forgot, right? Smexy.
No.
So, so there's a band called those poor bastards.
Yep.
And one of their songs is God's Dark Heaven, Go I. And she will basically kind of like soothe the beast if she can.
Okay.
The song, I did link it into the server, so if you want to listen to it, it's there.
Sure.
Obviously, she's not that low of a bass, but
That's fine. With that roll that you made, you've already attuned to it, and you got a 6. So I would allow you to more or less attempt to soothe the souls inside of this thing to the point where they're a bit more calm. Quite a few of the voices take solace in your comfort, and they calm down considerably. A lot of other voices, it sounds like they have been a part of this thing for probably decades, and are so broken that their psyche has been just completely shattered, and they're just mumbling and just talking incoherently. But majority of the voices you managed to calm down. And with this attunement, your mind's eye is drawn into a dark chasm, and inside this chasm you feel hands grasping at your body, pulling you in. Do you allow this to continue, or do you try to resist?
is there like a knowledge roll or something I can make for
Yeah,
this?
that would be study.
Okay. Can I take another bandit?
If you guys are okay with that,
I mean, you can always burn 2 stress for another die. Instead
yeah,
of the
you
game.
could do that too.
Yeah, that's what I was going to do.
Yeah, so burn 2 stress and get an extra roll for study.
Risky?
Nope, controlled. If you had not rolled a 6, it would have been risky. Oh, dang! All right. So, you definitely feel that these hands grasping for you are not trying to pull you in a malicious way. They are gentle. They're trying to hold on to you. They don't want you to go. They want you to come closer. They want you to help. You feel not panic, but comfort in these hands reaching out of the darkness. So you can choose, again, to embrace this, or you can resist. It's up to you.
If I embrace this, do I become a part of this entity or do I control it?
You have no idea. Right now, you are in control of this entity. You know that much.
They need to be released. Yeah. She will go further, see if she can undo this.
Okay. So you allow them to embrace you and pull you into the dark. Seconds pass. Feels like hours. And then you find yourself in a dark space. But there are silhouettes of probably dozens, maybe 100 people. And they all are in a circle around you, and you're in the center. One of these silhouettes materializes into a small boy. And he looks to be maybe probably 8 years old at most. And he comes up to you with his blue eyes and disheveled brown hair. And he reaches for your hand. Do you extend yours as well?
I'll take it. Yeah.
Okay. So he holds on to your hand and he says, "Thank you. We needed someone to stop the pain. It hurts every day. We just want to be free. Can you help us?"
I don't... Do you know how I can?
He says whatever this monster is, it feeds off of fear. And you have calmed most of us. But with your help, they think that their souls can be freed from this torment. If you are okay with it, they will surround you and they will put their hands on your shoulders and your head, and you can try to free these souls from their torment. But it will take a lot of energy to do this. Are you willing to try?
Yes.
Okay. So, I'm going to have you do one final roll. You will need to, if you are willing, expend all of your stress to get a good roll off of this. So first I must ask you, are you willing to fill your stress meter to the top? Like completely?
Yes.
Okay. So that will make it a controlled. You're going to get 2 rolls for this with your attune. You will need to roll pretty high, even with this stress bar, to free all of these lost souls. If you are unable to get the significant roll, you can free a partial amount, but that doesn't mean all of them will be saved.
How many dice do I get?
You're going to get 2 dice for your attune. And this will be a controlled.
Let's go!
Baby! So the first 2
Nice.
dice are 6s. You easily find every single soul that this entity has consumed. You even bring up the ones that have been with this thing for probably decades now that are incoherent, but you're able to ease their suffering. And with a flash of light, all of the souls leave this dark place and ascend. And you see them turn to white lights and go into a bright void above your head. And you too become lifted out of this void into this bright light. With that, you return to your physical body. You fall limp onto the ground as though someone hit you with a Mack truck. But you are alive. Your headache does not subside. As a matter of fact, you get a significant migraine from the physical and mental stress that you have just invoked to save all of these souls. When you do so, the abomination that you see in front of you falls down limp, unmoving, and the eyes that it has in its stalks go milky white, and the body turns to ash and dissipates. You hear a roar from what feels the center of this cube scream out in rage, and the lights go from a fluorescent white to a deep dark red, and a guttural groan and hum emanates from the center of this cube, and the walls begin to crack and shatter. And so you feel this entire building, or whatever it is, begin to unravel. You guys continue to run, or what do you do?
Probably continue to run.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no reason
pick
not
up
to
your-
stop now.
Okay.
I probably
Yeah,
need
pick
help.
up Diana off of the ground and just start running.
Okay. Diana,
Fireman,
you are
stepping.
semi-conscious, so you can try, but you are extremely weak right now. You're shuffling
Oh yeah,
along.
if she's just
best you can.
semi-conscious, I'll just fireman carry.
Yeah, that's fine. So yeah, Diana, you get picked up by Silas, and you guys start booking it around the corner. And just so happens that the one corner you manage to book around, you find the hangar with all the ships. And the walls and the floor begin to crack and decay into that same gray sort of ash that you guys saw the monster decay in. The atmosphere, from what you can tell within your suits, begins to blare with warnings that it's becoming unstable and cracks begin to form around the entire hangar, and air starts to get sucked out of these cracks into the dark space that's separating you from oblivion. The mechanical hooks that were on your ship also begin to crack and decay as you guys quickly board your ship and manage to gain back the power of the ship before the entire floor just dissipates beneath you, showing just a black void of space. You lift up your ship, you gun it through the closed port of this hangar, and smash your ship through this porthole into the space beyond. As you guys glance behind you on the view screen, you see this metal cube slowly envelop on itself, imploding into a small, almost black hole. All the materials getting sucked inside of it and dissipating with a large, just pop sound as you guys make your way into space with the cube disappearing behind you.
Well, that was fun. Let's not stop by any more cubes in the future, eh?
Well, we didn't
Get
really
to
get much
rob
of a
it.
choice in this matter.
I don't think we had a choice, to be honest.
Silas just adding the mental note of good. None of them realized I was the one who kind of, made us angle and look at the cube.
It's like, oh, what's that over there? Ah, shit.
So now he's adding that down, so no more going towards cubes or looking at them. Or write it down in a book somewhere.
Yep. Journal entry. Captain's log. Stargate, whatever the fuck. No more cubes.
Cubes.
And
Not
log.
good. Not cool. Stay away. They'd kill the power.
Cubes equal bad.
Very not fun. Closes up book entry for the day.
So is Korvax a little disappointed he didn't get all that wonderful luxury money that he was promised?
I think he's more salty about not being able to raid all of those classic ships.
Dude, same.
Well, it would have been nice
Think we
not to
all-
be safe across the galaxy anymore.
We should have
Sorry.
grabbed the parts at the beginning. Oh, well.
Yeah, we should have
I
salvaged it
tried.
immediately.
I tried.
No, you're good. You're right. You're right.
You'll see Diana just give a thumbs up. Sorry.
You did well.
You did good.
Yeah. Mm.
I have no
But,
idea what you did, but you did it good.
Well, y'all already think I'm crazy, so
I don't know. You stared at it for a second and it turned to ash. I'll take that as a win.
I mean, honestly, we are all crazy, but at least your craziness is actually useful, so...
My crazy- that needs to be a T-shirt. My craziness is useful.
The
Yeah.
first time we land, we're getting a printer to do that.
You know that could probably sell really well in like some sort of have city.
Good idea for business. Captain, write it up in the log. Potential smuggling of t-shirts, I guess.
I don't think it would be a case of smuggling. We could like actually make like a print and press company and print that T-shirt.
Do you have any idea of how difficult it is to set up a... yeah, you know what? Sure, whatever.
I hate
fuck it.
fixing printers. It's the worst thing ever. They always break up for no reason.
No, it would be like traditional inking. Give me some class. I like doing things with my hands.
Oh, I want to hear that.
So many hands.
Mm.
She will stare at Leo and then bonk him on the head with a stick. Not hard,
Ow!
but like a horny
Horny bonk.
Horny jail.
Yeah.
Horny jail. Dunk.
You said it yourself.
Yeah, but you're the one who's starting to drool like a dog who was waiting to be getting some food.
You're also correct.
Usually I am.
Usually. So with that, you guys manage to get back the coordinates that you originally started, and you make your way to your next destination, hoping to never run into one of those cubes again.
Next time
Sneak
we get
into
somewhere, I'm
Dr.
getting
Human.
guns so we can
Dr.
shoot the cube. Sorry, Keith, what were you saying?
I was just gonna say after that large ordeal, Corvax kind of has been sneak piping the for some of his drugs again.
What?
I didn't hear a lot of that, bud. Are you close to your mic or are you a bit far?
No, I still had the same headphones in this whole time.
Right.
You were very quiet at the end there.
Here, let me type it.
I will say I was expecting at least a couple more of you to take up the deal, but hey, you never know.
Man,
Consequences
you pulled
appear
the-
eventually.
You pulled the make us whole thing. Of course I'm not taking that deal.
No, I just thought it was like deep down you want to get along with your parents.
No.
That's why I said deep.
Corvax wants to sneak into Diana's room again and mix her incense with his drugs again after such an ordeal. That's fair. So I'll give you like a little bit of an insight of where I got this idea from. So Zygote is the name of the short where this monster's from. It's terrifying, and I encourage everyone to watch it. Also, the green glowing orb, if you guys aren't familiar with 80s heavy metal, it's called Heavy Metal Fack. F-A-K-K. The original, not Heavy Metal Fack 2000, but Heavy Metal Fack from the 80s. It has a glowing green orb of death that basically promises people's best desires, but at a very high cost, we'll say. Or it just likes to mess with people. So you never know. It might come back.
Way too older than I am, so what?
Yes.
It's not.
It was a very good, very 80s adult animation. Full of gore and nudity.
Fair enough.
The best kind. So yeah, that was fun.
Just gonna put in a request for next time. Hey, Leonardo, make another C4 just in case, you know? You get me?
I'll need materials for that, Captain, and we're already low on them. Okay, Smax, you need to deduce the ship costs this session.
Already did. You guys are at 3.
Uh-huh. And
Yep.
we got nothing back. Wonderful.
Yeah, but hopefully you find some very valuable artifacts in the next one.
Well, maybe
We'll get to.
is there like a way we can like scrounge up anything that does remain, or did it all?
Oh, it all got sucked into a black hole. It's gone.
Yeah,
Well, I tried.
I'll keep an eye on the scanners. Maybe we'll pick something up on the way back.
Yeah,
Like
this
a-
time
the
it'll
cube
be
again?
this time it'll be a sphere, not a cube.
Exactly. Spheres are fine. I can't wait to
Spheres are
all go on
safe.
the Death Star.
That's no moon.
I was gonna say, I'm glad somebody heard my "That's no moon" joke at the start.
I don't remember.
Of course, it's not a moon. It's a cube.
That's basically what you said, David.
Yeah. Why can't
All right.
why can't cubes be
XP.
moon
Let's see
shaped?
what everybody got.
All right, so let's do the XP part. So we'll start with Corvax. Let's see here. Basically, the way I did this one is like pretty much everybody struggled with issues from your vice or traumas. So everybody definitely got at least a point for that. Also, their backgrounds. So each Each person got a point for backgrounds and struggled with issues or traumas.
Smex, here's the funny thing. I didn't roll a single roll this session.
No, you did not, but you still got points.
Oh, 3 points! Yay!
Yes, everybody got a minimum of 2 points for this entire session.
Woo!
Diana, you got an extra point because you addressed a tough challenge with charm or audacity. So everyone got 2. Diana, you got 3 total.
Yay. I'm
There you
so
go.
close. I'm so close to unlocking a new attribute.
Eee. Also, I didn't get a chance to show you guys the orb. This is the closest I could find.
Ah, fair.
But think
Yeah.
green instead of blue.
I was gonna say, that doesn't look very green to me, Smex. Ugh, I can't believe you.
Hold on.
This game is unplayable.
You could
Unplayable.
have gotten, like, you could have used the old Xbox opening.
I could have actually. It's a giant Xbox cube plugged into like an old TV.
Yeah, there we go. Somebody beat me to it.
I did it.
I was thinking
Fixed.
of like the
20-inch
wah, wah,
LED
like the-
television. Oh, there you go. That's better. I like that. Beautiful. Spooky orb. Feed me. All the brains. All the brains. Perfect.
How rude.
Just wanted knowledge, guys. It didn't say brains specifically.
So the whole shtick was, hey, you sit down, we take your brain information, whatever, and your body gets, jumbled into that mix.
Yes. Pretty much.
I was thinking of
It didn't have a face, so it couldn't lie. It just stretched the truth.
I was thinking
That's
of
how this
this.
works.
Oh, yeah. Xbox.
Perfect.
I mean, I could have done
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Well, then the video I posted for Evil Within kind of works with this then.
Yes. Very much
So
so.
basically, we
Like,
fought the
for
giant
Evil Within.
Smex. Actually, it is Xbox because the thing was a big cube, which is a box.
Yes. It was the pulsating green circle at the beginning of the Xbox intro.
Give him an extra XP for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Aw.
Sorry.
I was so close.
So basically, Diana broke our Xbox.
Yeah.
Well-
Level up.
She got the red ring of death. That's what she did.
Yeah.
Just one more.
Well, aside from me, did anybody else roll desperate rolls? Because I got one for insight for that desperate roll and one for
Yes.
resolve for that desperate roll.
Everyone
Well,
else-
I gave Diana a nosebleed. Shit.
Yeah.
It was a
Probably.
controlled nosebleed, though.
Yes.
Mm.
You got the full stress meter for it, but you managed to get it through. That's why you got the third one. The third XP. Because you were audacious. Diana,
Yeah, definitely.
the audacious,
Yeah.
bodacious one. That'll be the intro that I make you guys once Dee Dee's done with the custom character sheets. Everyone's gonna get like a title card. The audacious, bodacious Diana.
Do we
I
get the
would-
intro music?
Yep,
Do you have the intro music?
I already have a song picked out.
Ooh.
I'll post
Jesus.
it if I can find it again here.
Jesus.
But yeah,
Come again? You say my name?
Yes. Can you?
I imagine it looking like
bring
this.
in the token you used into the server so I can get a kind of a reference. I have the posing in mind. I just want to have reference. And then I think for like the title card, I'm probably going to do like the Cowboy Bebop like poster style where it's
ooh, I
just
love it.
headshots, specific, so it will save me time and mental fortitude.
I mean,
Because
yeah,
drawing 5 bodies like that was a headache.
No, that's fair.
Good
I could
punch out for you
totally
there.
do the Cowboy Bebop ripoff, but I would get copyright stricken so hard.
Cool. Thank you. That actually helps out a lot.
Of course.
Oh, I gotta actually link it instead of playing it from my playlist. Otherwise, it's not gonna work for you guys. So 1 second here. I'm probably
That
not
was-
gonna use the whole song just because it's quite long, but maybe like the first minute and a half. But this is
Are you going to announce us in like the fucking Smash Bros?
no, not
I was thinking
exactly.
of the Smash Bros. Trap remix.
I was almost thinking about doing like the 90s sitcom / space sci-fi intro where people turn to the camera and smile. But
That would cost you
I'm not doing
extra.
French.
yeah, that
intro.
would. I can't afford animation whatsoever. That's not in the budget.
I was about to say that would cost you a little bit more.
Yeah. But yeah.
You would be looking at 200 for that one.
I'm gonna go ahead and stop recording, but yep, that's the end of that session.